So it
Here it goes. We're counting you in, and
you're counting.
Hey, it's Andrea Official.
okay. Now we're live.
No, I fucked up.
Why?
Because that was the Andrea Lutz official one.
That's okay. It's good.
No!
It still counts. We're live.
Okay.
We half forgot how to do this. It took us
Not
about half
half.
an hour to get going again.
Steve, it was way more than that. We thought we were live quite a few times.
Yes.
And why are we here, Steve? Count us in.
Count us in.
Why are we here?
I'm just checking things. Are we good? Are we good?
We have metrics. We must be streaming.
Oh, we're doing something.
Nobody's watching us anymore because we haven't been on in over a year.
Yeah.
0 viewers.
Something's not working. Well, I think it's working.
Yeah, it's probably working, Steve. We are just irrelevant.
No, I think we know. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
It's working.
Steve, did you just get the jolt that like an addict gets when they get a hit?
Have you ever? Okay, I was cruising the Twitter today, and I seen this thing where it was these two like 50-year-old convenience store workers, and they were right fucked on heroin.
Okay, where
So
is
they're
this?
sitting there
Give
like
me
this.
context.
The one girl was like,
Geographical context.
probably somewhere in the States. Have you ever seen people that are on heroin?
I've
And
seen
then she's like,
TikToks.
and then she's like punching in the numbers to the till. And the person that's there trying to pay for the stuff is just like giving her the money, and she's just like doesn't know what's going on.
She's an employee there.
Yeah, she's an employee.
Oh, I usually see like TikToks of random people in parks and stuff, just like catatonic.
And the funny thing
Like
was,
in the weirdest positions, but like standing or wrapped around something.
is that heroin? I don't know what that is.
fentanyl? Does fentanyl
That's
do that?
fentanyl. Yes. Yeah.
What's the one that makes you like a legit zombie? Like, have you seen this?
Oh, that's the bath salts,
What the hell are bath salts?
or and fentanyl. I don't know. All that stuff. Like,
mixed and all of it mixed together.
thank God we don't see that. Like, there's some of that
Don't we?
is here.
Yeah.
And in town and in Saskatoon and all those things, but we don't, I don't know, I don't see it every day. Like if you lived in LA and had to drive downtown to work every day and seen that shit, I feel sorry for those folks. but-
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just watching the news tonight, and I think it's in Saskatoon. They have decided to put like a harm reduction site, but like with beds, right? Because there's the homeless population and
Like the lighthouse.
like that, but they shut the lighthouse down, but they're making it more capacity. But the issue is they're putting it right in a residential area with a lot of like young families, right like a block, not even a block from an elementary school.
Ugh.
And all these other, like an arena and all these places like right where
Where are they
people
putting
are
it?
all the time. I want to, what?
Did they say?
I want to say maybe in Sutherland somewhere. Yeah, so there's an uproar about that. But it's like there's two sides. What do? You either don't help these people or like everyone wants to help them, but nobody wants to help them in their backyard.
Right. Yeah.
It's like take them, it's like garbage dumps, like take it somewhere else so I don't have to see it. That's what I feel like people are concerned about when it's an issue that it is right there in front of everyone's face, but nobody wants to see it, so they want them to put it away.
Yeah.
Or like just the harm
Yeah.
that it poses, the threat.
Right. The threat. It's the threat. It's not like they might be harmless.
No, it's the threat.
But it's the threat
Yeah.
of potential harm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of drug dealers are good people.
Well, I think
They're not all murderers.
I think everyone's a good person deep down,
or
and
drug
that-
dealers, drug addicts.
That's the
I should
whole
say.
idea
I shouldn't
behind
call them
harm
drug
reduction.
addicts, just addicts in general.
Are
Just
we,
like-
are we getting in deeper than we
Yeah,
want
like
to
why
be?
are we talking about
Cut the anchor.
Oh man.
Go down.
We just went straight to drug addicts. After not talking for like a year and a half. This is the
Well-
first time we've talked in a year and a half.
No, it's not.
I'm lying.
We actually are still friends.
Yeah. We're just, hey, everybody. It's been a while.
Anyways.
So what made us decide to do this again?
Well, like I said, I was bored. I was bored. I miss doing it.
Yeah,
It's like another layer of socialization.
it is.
And I get to talk and pretend people are listening.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's a few people listening.
it's nice.
It is nice.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, I answer the phone a lot during the day.
So you have a lot of conversations.
I have a lot of conversations.
Isn't that fun? Like, okay, because I answer the phone and talk to customers and stuff all the time too. But there's certain customers, or in your cases, people that phone the school, that you're like excited to talk to. Like when they phone, you're like, hey,
Like your face lights up.
Yeah, it's like your best buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I had one of those today, and I kind of thought, oh, we've crossed over to this level of our relationship now because I'm excited to hear from George, the driver's ed instructor. You know, just funny, easygoing people who have fun stories and want to laugh. Like, there are a lot of you out there. It's refreshing.
Well, there's a lot of, like, your day, especially at a work day.
Yeah.
It's not all fun and happiness.
No.
Right?
No.
There's sometimes there's some hours of the day where there's not much going on. You're kind of bored.
Yeah, a little
But
toe tapping going on.
When you have a conversation with a customer that's like that you have a good relationship with, it just like shortens the day. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes a guy will come in, or a girl, like a customer, and I didn't want to sexually discriminate in
single
the
anyone
egg
out,
industry.
Steve.
Yeah, but sometimes a customer comes in and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you forever. Come on in, and it's like they sit down, they have coffee, and you might have like a 2-minute work conversation and a 58-minute just bullshit session. Like, how you been?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's nice.
Because we're people, right? We crave, the company of other people and having conversations.
Some people do, some people don't.
I think even the ones that don't, I think they still need some of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they might not know it, that they need it.
I think a lot of grumpy people think they don't need it, and that's why they're grumpy.
Yeah.
That's how I get when I'm grumpy. I kind of like separate myself from people for a while, when I'm grumpy, because I don't want to like grump on people. And usually that's why I'm grumpy, because I'm annoyed with people.
Well, and sometimes you probably don't want to get, you're in a bad mood and you don't want to put your bad mood on others.
Yeah, I just want to suffer in my own silence.
Just wallow in your pity.
Well, doesn't it feel good sometimes? Do you
No.
ever get in a pity party where it's just like, I just want to be like fucking mad right now? Don't you?
It's funny, because sometimes like on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I usually don't have much going on unless I have a plan.
Yeah.
It's not when you're sitting at home and you're watching a football game or something, and then somebody just phones you up and says, hey, want to go golfing? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, I do want to. Like, take me away from this boring ass. Because if I'm not, I'll just sit here and eat all day. And like, you're kind of into the football game, but you're by yourself and you're kind of like bored.
Yeah.
But if somebody's like, hey, you want to go, you want to go for a drive to PA?
You know what? I love going for drives.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do. I find that's when you have the best conversation with people. Mm-hmm. Because generally there's not another screen around unless you're rude enough to fucking pull your phone out when you're driving with somebody, which I've done.
Oh, it's a dick move.
It is, but like sometimes...
Especially if it's mid-conversation.
No, that's bad. But if you're like been talking to each other for hours and then it's like, okay, well... I'm going to see what's going on here,
Yeah, if you're driving
Sometimes.
to Edmonton, by the time you get to North Battleford, it's like, okay, I've chatted you for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. I need to check my Facebook.
Isn't that a weird thing too? Yeah. I need to check my Facebook. Like it's like any time I have a free second that I'm like bored.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like I don't even care what's on there.
My
finger, my hand goes for my phone and my finger goes for that icon. And sometimes I even stop myself and I'm like, I didn't care I was just on there.
I didn't get a notification.
Yeah, it's just a muscle fucking memory stupid thing. Imagine how our kids are with it.
Well, us and our kids, at least we've been bored in our lives because we've lived in a world without cell phones, without smartphones. Mm-hmm. But kids now have never been bored. They've never had to be bored in their lives.
No.
Ever. if they've had a phone in their hand, they've never been bored.
What are some types of things that you've done when you're bored?
Like when I think of like back in the day, or when you don't have your phone, just like sitting in a room, like at a doctor's office or something, and staring at the wall. Waiting.
Reading every poster.
Yeah, you're
like 5 times, like like the lumbar, like all the little pieces of the spine.
Yeah.
When you're waiting in there.
And you might be waiting for 5 minutes, you might be waiting for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you don't have your phone, you're hooped.
Do you know they used to have TVs in the doctor's office even when I was a kid? Because I remember one of my core memories is going to the Tisdale Medical Clinic, and it was 80s for sure. Like my memory is almost like yellowed. You know what I mean? The old furniture in the medical clinic, and they had like the customary little pile of toys over in the corner for the kids, and there was a old TV set, and it was playing Gilligan's Island.
Underrated TV show.
Well, yeah, but that was like, people watched it.
Remember in the morning, I think it was at like 7 o'clock in the morning, it was Gilligan. I don't know which one was first, but it was always Bewitched and then Gilligan's Island, or vice versa. Oh, those are good shows.
The Saturday morning cartoons. Did you ever
Saturday
watch
morning
those?
Absolutely.
What was your the first one you think of when you think of them?
Just the classic Looney Tunes.
Oh,
I
really?
loved it. Yeah, that was always the best one. Then you had Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you had Biker Mice from Mars, and you had all those things. But
my
classic
go-to
Looney
that I
Tunes-
remember is Inspector Gadget.
Oh yeah.
With the old guy petting.
What was his name?
cat.
The bad guy, right?
I don't remember.
What was the bad guy from Inspector Gadget? Somebody knows out there.
Anyways, you know that line, "This message will self-destruct"?
Yeah.
I use that at work all the time in my emails.
Could you imagine?
If I really want to like harp on the staff about something, or like ask for something and like sound assertive,
Yeah.
like, "This message will self-destruct" and blah blah blah. Well, there's a
Dr.
deadline.
Claw, Jay Lute says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Claw.
Good
That's
one.
beauty.
Yeah, that's what I would watch before.
Did that happen in
school.
Inspector Gadget, or is that Mission Impossible? This message will self-destruct.
Definitely Mr. Gadget. Because he'd get they'd type out the message, and he'd read it, and then it would say, "This message will self-destruct," blah, blah, and he'd crumple it up. He'd throw it
Was
away.
that at the start?
It might have been in the intro.
Yeah. Cool.
Core memories. And the Smurfs. That's another one I remember always. The Sunday afternoons at my grandma's after church. Everybody in the family would go to church except Grandma and Grandpa. Like on my mom's side.
Yeah.
But then we'd all go to Grandma and Grandpa's for lunch after or whatever. And there was we'd either get to watch the Smurfs, or Grandpa would have a ball game on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's funny how like shows and music and stuff can just jog your memory
They just
like that.
trigger a memory.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, Jay says both.
Oh,
Nope. Your ice is popping.
it exploded.
Did it catch you?
A little bit. Kind of refreshing. Speaking of refreshing,
Yeah.
how about that weather?
How about the weather?
How'd you like
Weather.
that?
Let's get some weather talk going on here. Yeah, it's beautiful.
No, but when I was standing outside earlier and you said that even though it's so beautiful, you still don't like to go outside.
I hate winter. I don't like I'll ski, I'll ice fish, I'll toboggan, like
Yeah.
skidoo. But
You don't sound excited
do I
about it.
like any of them? No.
I used to be you.
Yeah, I don't enjoy. Like I don't get. Okay, this is what
What
it
about
is.
ice skating?
I enjoy them when I get out and I start doing them,
Like exercise.
but I don't get like golfing.
Yeah.
I get fired up to go golfing.
Yeah, you
like if
do.
it's 7 a.m. and the boys at like 7:30 tea time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm waking up at like 6. I'm making sure my outfit's picked out, all my clubs are ready to go. Like I am fired up.
Yeah.
Or like any summer activity, going camping.
Yeah,
going
you
to
love
Craven.
summer.
going to the lake. Like, I get excited about those activities. Where winter, it's just like, ugh. Do I have to go skiing? All right.
Yeah, I know. I've been skiing with you.
I enjoy it.
I know. I'm the same way.
I don't love it.
I do it because there's nothing else to do, and I hate being so bored that I just feel dead inside. Like, I need some kind of excitement, which is why I'm here. You know, though, like, that's how I started liking sledding when I never, ever would have wanted to do it before. And I even went ice fishing yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't get a bite. Actually, I am, I think, cursed when it comes to ice fishing because I've gone more times than I can believe I've gone. And I've never, ever even got a bite. Not a bite. Tell me how fucking boring that is. But I had a good time yesterday. It was beautiful out. We had fun, like, just being out in the middle of the lake with the sun shining down. I went for a long walk. I read a book. It was awesome. I didn't even really... I was glad we didn't catch fish because I hate cleaning fish. I don't even really like cooking it or eating it.
Ooh, I like cooking and eating it.
It's just if someone knows how to debone it.
Yeah, it's tough. And I think you have to catch a lot and do it a lot, and then it becomes like second, you know.
You know what I saw the other day that was so funny? It was probably on a TikTok. This old commercial from the 90s for the Wonder Boner. It's hilarious. You got to YouTube it. It's called the Wonder Boner, and it's this thing that you slide over a fish that peels like the flesh off and leaves
the scales
and leaves the spine and the bones and the ribs or whatever it is.
Wow.
You just the Wonder Boner. And it's the premise of this commercial is like 4 guys sitting around like fishing. Like these like macho fishing dudes. And this one guy starts telling them about the Wonder Boner and then it's just cheesy shit like, my wife loves the Wonder Boner.
It's like a gag ad?
No.
Or is it real?
It was
actual?
real.
Oh, okay.
Look it up.
Everybody's leaving. Oh, everybody's leaving to go check out the Wonder Boner.
I should have an affiliate link to the Wonder Boner now. Get paid.
How awesome would it be? Wonder Boner sales spike.
Hey, man.
Because of the Steve and Andy show.
The future. You never know. We could start making TikToks and linking the Wonder Boner. Isn't that how that works?
Well, hey, when Joe Rogan started out, his big sponsor was the Fleshlight. So ours could be the Wonder Boner.
Really? Why did he promote it on his show?
Well, they just paid him a bunch of money to like promote it on his show.
Really?
Like back in the old days.
Like
when
just
nobody
one
was
show
watching.
or like a whole season?
No, like he was like they were the major sponsor. So at like the start of every show, it was like, hey, this episode of the JRE is brought to you by the Fleshlight.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
Would you?
Like if the Fleshlight came to us and said, hey, I will give you $10,000 to talk about the Fleshlight every episode, 100%.
What would Garth say?
He'd be like, I might have to check out one of these Fleshlights. Just see what the fuss is all about.
Steve.
I don't know.
Dang.
Hey, money talks.
Well, actually, on the way over here, I was listening to the radio, and the guy was talking about people making $45,000 a year selling pictures of their feet. And I'm like, I don't think that's real because a lot of people would be fucking doing that. Yeah. Oh, are you ticklish?
That's the only freebie you're gonna get.
For real though.
$45,000 and I'll send the rest.
Like, has anybody actually looked into this? Has anybody researched? Like, I feel like I'm stupid if I haven't. If it's that easy. Like, can you make it OnlyFans? And I don't have pretty feet. I have like the.
I don't think people care. Like
the
weirdos.
Long, like, you know when you have all your toes, like normal toes, and then there's that one long one.
Yeah.
I got that.
It's usually like the third
It's
one.
my second toe.
Oh, your second.
It's as long as my pinky finger. Yeah. Can you imagine? My roommate in college, Megan, if you're watching, do you remember this? I remember, talk about core memory. We were walking from our dorm
Yeah.
through this big clear skywalk to campus. And it was spring or summer, and I was wearing Birkenstocks. And she's looking down at my feet, and she was so disgusted. She's like, oh my God. She's like, your long toe grabs the end of your sandal.
So you're walking. It's just like,
And I never noticed it, and every time after that, now to this day,
you won't wear sandals?
no, I wear them, but I can like visually, like I can see that, I can feel it. I'm conscious of my toe grabbing.
Courtney says, shit, people sell their dirty gitch for money.
That's different, though.
That's nasty.
That's different. Could you?
There was actually a girl that was selling dirty socks that she wore for like a month and a half. She was selling dirty socks.
Yeah.
That's gross.
But like, where do you go for this job? Because I want it.
But like, okay, so now we're talking about
45 grand a year?
Now
Come on.
we're talking about all these weird fetishes now. People that are into feet don't seem so bad anymore, right? Like everybody thinks, ooh, feet people are weird. But if there's people out there buying that shit,
The thing I question is, like, is it that hard to look at people's feet that you have to buy pictures?
I guess if you got no feet to look at.
I feel like you can go on the internet and find pictures of people's feet pretty easy.
I think it's a
Or
thing.
are you, like, doing things with...
I think it's a thing where people like get infatuated with the person, and then they're also like a feet. Like that. What was her name? She was a big Twitch person. Daphne something. Daphne something.
What is Twitch?
Or not Twitch. She was like a gamer. Like Twitch is it's a streaming service where you watch people play video games. And then she was an e-girl.
Go ahead.
And then she was selling bath water. She would like have a bath, and then she'd sell like little vials of bath water for like a lot of money, like $20 a little vial or something like that. That's like fuck.
Courtney says, LMFAO, make an OnlyFans. We should make it Steve and Andy OnlyFans, and I'll pluck the red hairs from Steve's head and sell them to you.
And take pictures of your dagger feet.
My toe. Hey, you never know. Niche market.
I think people would pay more
It's a
money for your
niche
hair.
market.
But yeah.
I don't know. I feel like redheads are probably a delicacy somewhere.
Maybe in Germany. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, what else?
So we've covered drug addicts and fetishes and the weather.
And the weather. You want to talk about the teachers' strike?
Sure.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm pro teachers.
Well, who's not pro teachers?
That's a good question because they're just the people that are pro teachers just aren't saying anything right now. They're very quiet. They're very mum's the word.
No, I don't think they're quiet, but they're not. They're taking it equally as seriously as the government is taking it.
Right.
They're sitting back and watching while this whole thing unfolds, which is what everybody is forced to do because the ball's in the government's court. But they're dinking around with these little one-day planned strikes, and nobody's taking it seriously because I don't think anybody really realizes how friggin' valuable those people are that are with your kids the majority of their lives. And everybody's putting so much pressure on them to create wonderful human beings and doing it with nothing.
Yeah.
And especially not a lot of support from home most of the time. That's how I feel about it. Support your teachers. And I think the teachers should
Strike.
hardcore. But it's not up to me. I'm just an administratant.
My mind has changed. My thoughts on teachers and the education system and unions to some point over the last few years where our teachers are severely underpaid. They don't have the support. Education is one of the most important things that in our society.
If people,
and we treat it like a second-rate little niche it's not that important.
Yeah.
That's how we treat education.
Because the majority of people don't have a front row seat, which is what I have had the benefit of for the last couple of years. Not like some of these teachers who have been in there for friggin' a long time, decades. They've seen a lot. I'm new to the party, but what I'm seeing is that it's not good. If people knew what their kids were getting out of an education now because of the funding, they would be doing more to promote the strike, I think. Not just sitting back and waiting and hoping it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
Until your kids are at home for a
well,
month,
look what happened
right?
during COVID, and
Then
everybody's
people don't
panicking.
care.
I can't. I was the same way. I'm like, this is not my job. I can't teach my kids. I can't even do their math. They're in grade 6.
Yeah.
You know, like when that happens, shit hits the fan. What's going to happen? If people could see the type of individual that this education system is churning out, they would want to make some changes. It's not just one or two. It's a big problem.
Yeah. Well, a whole nother topic and something that I may disagree with some of the teachers on is what we're teaching our kids.
Well,
I think there's some changes that need to be made there and how the education system is run. But this one particular thing that we're talking about is, are teachers compensated enough? No, they are not.
No.
Do they have the support they need to do their job effectively? No, they do not.
No.
Are learning conditions not very good? Yes, they're not very good. So that's what the strike's about.
I think,
And I support the teachers and the union on those bases and merits. Rock and roll. Do what you got to do to get more money and get some better services for the kids.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's easy to say that and not do anything about it until you actually see how it's personally affecting you. And that's what's wrong with the whole country. Like Jen says, healthcare, right? Nobody thinks healthcare is important until they need it.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty. I've never used a benefit at work yet, other than eye care, maybe some dental and stuff like that. But so to me, like benefits to me isn't important in my compensation, but to a lot of people, it's everything.
Yeah.
Right. If you've got medication that's expensive, if you've got some, a kid that needs some medical care,
Routine dental.
if you've got if you get your teeth knocked out or you need braces or something, well, then benefits are huge. But yeah, and that's, I guess that's kind of off topic and on a tangent, but yeah, the healthcare system is Jesus. We could talk. Well, we've been talking about it all evening.
Yeah, actually, because we're getting old.
Yeah.
Shit's going downhill.
Shit's going downhill.
We're starting to need the healthcare system.
Well,
no, I
yeah.
was talking about how I waited 18 months for a simple routine surgery, and I'm a young person who doesn't have major shit going on. There's people waiting for. What happens after the mammogram? After the mammogram and they find the lump, the next stage. There's people waiting for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or livers, right? Like they're dying.
Livers?
Right? Like people that are like on their deathbed because they've had liver failure and they're waiting for a transplant. It's like, well, might get you one in a year and a half. But maybe and that might because there's not as many livers out there as there should be. But
You know why?
Just the wait list on anything.
Gin, that's why.
The wait list on everything is too long.
I know,
hip
but
surgeries.
What do you do?
Like how many people have got hip surgeries in the last 6 months?
Hips are going hard.
Hips are going. We're having a
Hip
pandemic
sale.
of hips.
We should start selling hips.
And God bless you all that have gone through that. And I know a few close friends, and they're doing good and they're recovering, but it does not look fun. And some of them go through years and years of agonizing pain before they can get it because of our healthcare system, right? And
Tell this story.
I do not. Okay.
Tell this story. It's an anonymous story. Nobody knows who it was or who the doctor was.
So somebody I know that I had a conversation with recently was waiting for a hip surgery and has been in pain. An older gentleman. So he goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, or he complains that he has hip pain. The doctor's like, well, have you not been taking the 4 extra strength Tylenols a day that I've prescribed you the last time you were here? And the guy's like, no. It's like, I don't want to be drugged up all day, every day. And the doctor says to him, well, if you're not going to help yourself, then I don't know why I should be helping you. And that story made my blood boil.
Yeah, Stevie was angry tonight
Because
when I got here.
Instead of diagnosing the problem and fixing it,
Mask it.
a lot of people, just take some pain meds. You'll be good. You know,
Well,
you're 82. You might last a couple more years.
You know what, though?
Oh, I was so mad. I almost flipped the
And
table.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but I think this might be a thing. Is there, like, kind of a statute of whatever on hip replacements? Like, if you're 82 or you're at the top of the list for hip replacement? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing.
But
We don't know. We're not
I guess
healthcare
if there's so
professionals.
many hip replacements to be done in a day, and you can't do them, then yeah. But if it's just a matter of economics and money
But like,
people
I'm
to
trying
do
to
it
understand what would have been in, like, why would the doctor have been benefiting from talking him out of hip surgery?
I don't know if anybody can explain that there's a reason why instead of diagnosing and fixing the problem, he just said, just take these pain meds, you'll be good to go.
It probably happens a lot.
So then the guy gets so he says, well, I'll just lay on the bed here. We'll check you out again. So he lays him out and he does a couple of adjustments. Oh, the guy's like,
Like how?
and the doctor's like, oh, your hip is kind of buggered. Yeah, we'll get you on the list. It might be like 15 months, but I'll get you on the fast track list.
Fast track, 15 months.
Like, are you kidding?
Yeah. We're both reading Courtney.
Yeah, and she's.
People with disabilities.
So she says, I'm an advocate for people with disabilities. I get plenty of phone calls a day about doctors and social workers not helping people. It's truly sad. Yeah, and have they just given up? They just don't give a fuck. Like and I'm not shitting on doctors and healthcare workers, because through the pandemic, they went through a lot. They were understaffed. They were dealing with a lot of things. You know, there was full hospitals. You know, you could say what you will about the pandemic, but they were under a lot of work and a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But are we just fucking giving up and just, are they buying into the healthcare system shitty? So I'm just going to do a shitty job because if I do a good job, it's going to go unnoticed? I don't know. Do we need to pay do we need to pay the doctors more? Like how do we get better healthcare service in this country?
I think it's not about paying them more. It's about making their jobs easier and less stressful, which means more staff and more trained help and more room for people, because you can't keep inviting people into the country and then not provide space for them. You see it with housing, you see it with the fucking hospitals, you see it with everything. There's not enough resources for all these new people. We're not prepared. Government.
Immigration.
Yeah.
So we're changing. Are we going to go
And
to immigration?
I love immigration. Bring them in.
Well.
But you got to have the infrastructure first.
Yeah.
Like, you can't overload a system, and especially when these people, a lot of the time, are on aid, right?
Yeah.
So when you're giving money away in aid, and then we need aid, where's the money coming from? But what do I know? I'm just administrative assistant.
Yeah, we just keep paying taxes and
Yeah.
don't decide where they go. But I guess
How do you decide? Nobody's ever going to agree.
I guess if you don't like it, you vote. And you vote for somebody.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one to say it. There's a reason people don't want to vote, because it feels like it doesn't fucking matter, because what's going on at the top? Who could we possibly vote in that would satisfy everyone's needs? No one. There's always going to be a problem with somebody. They always look good at the beginning, like a red flag boyfriend.
Yeah.
They come out all shiny with all their stories and all their money, and then in the end, they're just kicking a can down the road, hoping not to get kicked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, money money is always involved in all the decisions the government make, and that's unfortunate. You know, somebody's getting greased under the table or something.
Well, it's made by people getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you have to
And
make a lot of
backroom
money to
deals
want to
and-
do that job and be under that scrutiny.
Maybe we need to pay our politicians more so they don't take all these backroom deals. And I don't know.
Steve!
Just pay everybody more money.
Just start printing money.
Well,
Can't we just make more money?
that's what Trudeau's doing. He's just giving it all away, though. He's not keeping it in the country and spending it on
That's what I'm
foolish
saying.
things.
We're giving away aid. We're
know.
bringing in people who need aid, and then we don't have aid.
I guess if you're bringing, my thing is, okay,
What's your thing?
if we're going to bring in immigration and we're going to bring people into the country, which I'm not necessarily against.
I'm pro.
I'm cool with that.
Yes.
But instead of sending money out of the country and bringing immigrants into the country, how about you keep that money in the country to support the immigrants and the rest of the population?
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
You're late to the party.
Keep the money here.
Keep the money here. Bring them in. Help them. Keep the money here. I know a lot of immigrants, and they are all a lot of the hardest working, most honest, genuine people I know.
Paying taxes.
Paying taxes
Yeah.
and friendly. You know what?
Super friendly.
I have never met an immigrant who is unfriendly. And I've met a lot of local people who are unfriendly. So I'm pro-immigrant.
Amen.
Anyway, what do you say we sign off before we get fired from our jobs?
Yeah.
I'll play the Steve and Andy show.
Okay.
And we'll
we're
go
gonna
out
keep
with a
doing
bang.
this? Are we gonna keep trucking along
Yeah.
doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's magic.
We'll see you again next week.
Welcome to the Steve and Andy Show with your hosts, Steve Leibel and Andrea Lutz.